Welcome back to Glow Up with Niecey, where I talk about glowing up, self-worth, style, and leveling up in your life while being bougie on a budget. I'm your host, Niecey, and get ready for today's episode regarding glowing up and budgeting. But before we get into that, here is a glow up affirmation for this week. Money flows to me because I know I'm worthy. Now, has anybody ever thought about how their life would elevate if they either change position, started a job, or their finances need to be set in order? Well, on this episode, I'm going to go into all details, but let me introduce my guest for today, which is one of my best friends, my little Trini, my Carisha, to my JT. Welcome, Janelle.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm
I
so
am
proud of
so
you.
Oh, thank you so much. I am so happy to have you on this episode because I thought this episode would be perfect to have you included on it, especially since you always having that little career growth. Every minute I'm talking to you, you always trying to find ways to level up and to glow up and to search for a job that actually fits your needs, the
Hmm.
pay, and everything overall. And I definitely thought this would be a great opportunity for you to talk to your experience or provide tips that will help others within their glow up journey process.
Right, thank you.
You are welcome. So now we're going to discuss three big topics today. We're going to talk about glow up budgeting tips, career elevation stories, financial goals, and knowing your worth.
Hmm.
So I'm going to ask you the first question, Janelle.
Okay.
Can you share what your boss move looked like this year, or if you're still working on it?
Okay, I don't have a boss move yet, but what I am working on is continuing to elevate myself and to keep looking for more career opportunities, really putting myself out there, particularly on Indeed every day, all day, every day. Consulting with you also, just really trying to see about new opportunities. I feel like it's time to elevate, and that's what I'm working on right now.
I absolutely love that because I'm on the same journey and path as you. I did get promoted a few months ago, so it was a good stepping stone in my career the way I wanted to head, even
Right.
though it's more so from a business analyst role to a program manager role. But my
Hmm.
still end goal is always with project management, and that's why I'm always involved in trying to find different ways to manage something or explain to my boss the opportunity that, yeah, I want to be able to lead projects. I want to be able to, because with project management, you're doing budgeting, you're doing risk management, making sure that there's no issues there. You are
Right.
doing everything that you can that to create that boss move. And that's something that I'm working on. And I'm happy for the promotion. I can't complain because, especially with this economy, you can't
Hmm.
complain.
Right. Exactly.
But you know what's funny? When I was at my old job, I had a
Hmm.
boss, and this is when the company got bought out. And I'll never forget when she's looked at me and she told me, she was like, if you are trying to elevate within this position or get the pay that you want, you're not gonna get it. And I
Right.
was curious as to know why. And she was like, honestly, it's better to job hunt. And
Yeah.
if I never thought about job hopping or job hunting, I would have never reached the level that I am today because literally, when you look at it, the job that you're gonna have, when you want to get that pay and you talk to them
Right.
about that pay, they're gonna look at
Yeah.
you like that's not in budget. And then you could
Oh,
go to
yeah.
another job that'll pay you like 30, 40K more, and you're
Yeah.
like, you know what? That's true because that's what happened to me when I was at my
Hmm.
old job. I was getting paid low. Like I think they were paying me like 48K.
Yeah.
And I looked at them and I was like, that's not going to work. And I was like, I've been with this position for almost 5 years.
Oh,
I
wow.
said, yeah, almost 5 years. I
Hmm.
That's when they switched me from hourly to salary. And I have all these qualifications, and the HR basically said they don't have any room for me to move
To
up. So I
grow.
said,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
But you're
I
gonna
took my
grow.
deuces.
Yeah. And leave, and that's it. You're
And
not gonna stay stagnant. You want more for yourself, and you should want more for yourself, especially being there for 5 years. That's a long time.
yeah, but you know with the Caribbean culture, they feel like you have to stay in one position forever.
Because they want
And when
that
you
pension.
they don't do pensions anymore. These jobs do not do pensions anymore.
And that's sad. But I mean, like the older Caribbean people always talking about their pension. Like, that's what my grandma said. She married my grandfather to get his pension. But, you know, now it's all about, the 403B plan or the 401k and also trying not to touch it, to be honest. So it's just different ways, finding a side job or using one of your talents. Let's say you like to do hair on the side or something. Because in this economy, it's like you can't, like if you live by yourself, it's like, okay, that's a great thing. But sometimes these housing units, they make you feel like you need a two-income household. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like they would prefer that. But why can't I just live on my own, do it by myself? But like for me, I live in New York, so you know how expensive it is in New York.
Oh yeah, trust me. I know. I talk to my grandma every day and I tell her she's like even on her block, you know where my grandma live, it's like millions. I'm like millions? For what?
I'm wondering how much these houses cost now, honestly.
The minimum, like I look in New York and Indeed, and the minimum, not Indeed, I look in New York like
Zillow?
Zillow and stuff.
Yeah.
The
Hmm.
minimum you'll see is starting at 750K.
I know, which is crazy.
And you say to yourself, unless you have a great job,
Yeah,
who couldn't afford that? And this is
telling you.
why we're trying to make boss moves, so we could be able to afford that.
Exactly.
That's one thing I love about, I always love about your passion. You don't play games about looking for a new job. And that's the type
Oh,
of
thank
leveling up
you.
and boss mindset, you're welcome, that I think everybody needs to have. And yes, there are some times when there is a job that you actually do like or a company you do like that if
Yeah.
you could find ways to boss up or elevate around that company, that's fine.
Hmm.
Because you know me, I work at a Fortune 500 company,
Yeah.
and it's a big organization, very big. So if I
Hmm.
wanted to, I could have the option to apply to other departments, which I have. Unfortunately, the job market is crazy because even up to last year, I was applying and I was getting interviewed, but certain experiences that they wanted, I didn't have. But I ended up getting promoted at my job into a new department, so it still kind of worked out in that favor. But I was just
Right.
saying, in its entire everything in its entirety, it's really they make it really hard to try to elevate yourself at
Hmm.
work,
Yeah.
your finances overall, because literally with everything going on, everything increasing, and it's like you can't live and work, if that makes sense, because you have to just work only to live, but you can't do anything else. Like you can't vacation, can't do this, can't do that because you're only working to live. And I really feel like that's why it's important for us to have that boss mindset that
Yeah.
we could try to find ways, okay, if I have my main job, what if I get into stocks and try to invest my money? What if I try to create another opportunity? Like a lot of people do content creation, a lot of people do podcasts, like, well, this one, a lot of people do YouTube, a lot of people do
Yeah.
hair, like you said, a lot of people do nails. Just try to find other talents, and I feel like that's what's gonna help to reach that level that you want to reach
Yeah.
and move up.
I feel like it's just hard because sometimes it's like, okay, what am I good at? Like, what is something that people always say, like, oh, you're so good at this. What can I do as like, a side job? So I try to think of different things. Like, I guess for me, I like to plan, but it's
Yeah.
like, what kind of side hustle can I do with planning? Maybe like planning a party. I've planned like family parties before, like with different themes. Like I enjoy like making Easter baskets, for example, but that's once a year. But just trying like, to elevate and just figure out a way to make like extra money or even like applying for certain positions like at my job too, even though
No,
I'm looking actively
girl, you gotta
for
do
other jobs.
everything. I was doing the same thing last year. I don't blame you.
Yes. I'm not telling anybody but you and the people probably listening right now. But yeah,
Oh, well, they're not gonna see your face, so you good.
you know,
No,
I'll be
but
hidden
no, but it's really true. It's so funny because I know my boyfriend said to me, he was like, "Oh, you know how to do hair a little bit. Why don't you?"
a little bit. Get here, it's always fun, but a little bit.
Well, apart from go to the hairdresser, I do my own hair. I do my mom's hair here, so it's here and there. But he came to me, he was like, "Why don't you do hair on the side?" And I said, "One, I don't like people at my house. I don't like people
I
at
get
my
that.
house."
Yeah, I get
And
that.
number
Hmm.
two, I said, "I can't do these teenagers here. They're different.
I know it's very different with them. The edges, they do it a certain way. I
They're
I don't
very
know about that.
picky."
Yeah.
And number three is so you know how there's certain styles that you see on the internet and you tell somebody, "Oh my God, I want this hairstyle," and they try
Hmm.
to tell you that it's not gonna fit you, and then they,
Yeah.
they keep arguing with you, and then you do it. They get the hairstyle, and then they complain. I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
on TikTok. People complaining, talking shit about me.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to be on TikTok with people doing that. And another thing is, I remember I had like an old hairdresser like years ago, and she told me that what these young girls would do, they'll pay on like their credit card, their bank card, and then
Yeah.
after like they pay, they'll claim it as fraud
Yeah,
to get their
I
money
know.
back. And I'm like, I'm
Hmm.
not trying to battle and go through somebody like that because at the end of the day, even though this is like my side hustle and it's not my real job, but
Yeah.
it's money is money. That could go towards bills, that could go towards saving, vacation, something for me. And so I'm always thinking about boss moves. And I know you are too,
But
but
you
I
should
do
do
think
hair.
I nah. I
You
appreciate it, but
can. I'm
nah.
telling you, if you do 3 heads a day, right? And you're charging like a Wednesday special, $100 for large knotless box braids, right? You
Hmm.
got $300 right there. That could
I
pay
know.
something.
That
That's
is
all I
true.
think about, honestly. Any money I get, any little money I get, or any bonus checks, retro checks, whatever the case is, girl, I don't even see it. I just got a bonus check the other day, and where did it go? To my medical bills when I was sick half this year. I never saw the money because I just had to pay off all my medical bills.
Oh, that's
That's
the same
being
thing.
responsible.
That's the same thing I did with my bonus check. I paid it towards credit card. I'm like, damn, like I can't even enjoy the damn check. I can't
But
even
then
blow it
it
on the
makes you feel
bag.
good. It makes you feel good knowing that next month I don't have to give PayPal $150 or whatever, or I don't have to give Capital One $90 this month because I'm done. And then you're like, okay, I'm not gonna spend any more money with this card. Like I'm done with this card. And then you get excited because you see all your like, the score go up or whatever. And then you see you have all this extra money that they gave you. So it's really about being responsible and doing the right thing as an adult. You think I wanted to do that? No, I wanted to buy a Kate Spade bag, but I had to walk past the store and cry and just pay Montefiore Hospital for my bills.
No, because I wanted this. There was this Tiffany and Co. Like they had this bag that I wanted real bad, and it was like probably like 15, $1,800. And I kept saying that, okay, if I get my bonus check, I'm gonna pay it on that.
Right.
And then unfortunately it didn't work. And then I look back now and the bag is no longer there. I'm like, damn.
You see? But you feel
Uh,
good that you paid off other stuff because you don't want that lingering either.
no, it's for real. That's why we're gonna head into the next question is how did your
Yeah.
glow up journey shift when it came to money or confidence?
So it shifted by me being able to save more. That's what I really liked. Now I have like a set routine where I save a certain amount per month because I really have like, certain goals that I would like to achieve within like the next 6 months to a year. Um, and just pretty much like being more like financially responsible. Like I told you, it's sad, but I miss going to Starbucks every day. It used to be really bad, but really working on it. And then stop eating like outside food. Not I eat outside food, but I just stopped buying outside food. So now, like I'm learning how to do things differently. Like I'm buying this $5 chicken from Costco every week, and it lasts a whole week. And then I just have my rice and chicken every single day for dinner, or
Not
I
the
have
meal
like a
prep.
yeah, and like a turkey sandwich for lunch, like just a really simple thing because before, of course, who wouldn't like to go to the Jamaican restaurant and get a whole meal for $10? But it adds up. That's $70 a week. And
Facts.
then we forgetting the Starbucks. That's $12 a day.
That's true.
So something has to give. And these things are not a need. So that's why I was just like, you know what? I really need to make some changes. And I started to see a difference in my account. Like that's all I had to do was stop eating so much and stop buying these sugary drinks. And you just have to it's give and take. Not to say you can't treat yourself. Sometimes I have a day. Like, being a family therapist, I need a break. I need
Oh,
something to decompress.
you do. Your
Right.
stories, you do.
Yeah, exactly. I have very heavy stories, very like serious cases. So me getting like a refresher from Dunkin' or a refresher from Starbucks really makes me feel like calm and at peace. But I have to remember that I don't need these things. Like this is a want, and I can only get it like, sometimes, not all the time. And especially to save money too.
Nope, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. But you know what shifted my mindset was
Hmm.
when I was 18, I had just got a credit card.
Yeah.
I started taking out a lot of credit cards because I wasn't explained the importance of a credit card and how to be responsible and how to do this and that, this and that. And of course, family stuff, like life happens. And would you believe by the time I hit mid 20s, I had racked up 20K worth of credit card debt.
Oh God, girl.
I had like 4 or 5 credit cards. My first credit card that they gave me, I think that was like 10K alone. Had another Capital One card. I think that was like almost 6K. And then I had the Amazon Prime. That was probably
Hmm.
like 3K. I had a Care credit card. That probably was like, I was racking up credit card debt. And you know what had to save me is one day I was talking to my grandfather
Yeah.
and he taught me about this. This is not sponsored. He was talking to me about this company called American Financial Solutions. And what they
Okay.
do, unfortunately, they close out all your credit cards. So
Yeah.
your credit cards get closed.
Yeah.
And what they do is they negotiate with them to one, lower your monthly payment, and number two, lower your interest rate.
Yeah.
So you know how some interest rate cards, just gonna throw it out here, 25%, they'll try to lower it to like 6% or 7%. And the minimum payment, they'll make it reasonable. And what they do is they basically ask you questions about, hey, um, what is your monthly income, what to use it towards, et cetera, et cetera. But the good thing
Mhm.
about it is that at that time, I was actually living at my parents.
Right.
So when I was living with my parents, I was able to say I don't pay rent. I have like a little car note. And I was able to say all that. And then I think I had to pay like $585 a month for all like, and what they would do is that, and I think it was like, I think this went on for like 3 to 5 years. And what I had to do was when I pay that 580,
Yeah.
they have their little $30 fee, they're gonna have a fee. And then every other out of that 584, it'll go
Yeah.
towards the credit cards. And when like one credit card was paid off, that money that they have for that credit card, they use it for the next. And I was
Yeah.
able to literally pay off those credit card debt, and that's how I was actually able to buy my condo because my credit was good. I did open back another card, and
Yeah.
I'm more responsible with the card. And it kind of shifted my mindset to be more responsible with my card, not to abuse it like I once did. But again, I was 18, 19, 20. I didn't know because that's like you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I could pay it back. Because I think
Right.
that's the mindset that we always had. Yeah, I'm gonna pay it back. I'm gonna pay it
Hmm.
back. Or
Yeah.
you
That's
rack up
me.
to like 500 and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna pay it back. No, don't even worry about that. And the whole time you see your statement balance is like 1,500. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't do that. So you're just paying the minimum payment, and then
Yeah.
I mean that interest rate is high.
Interest rate. Yeah. Hmm.
Next thing you know, is you're in a never-ending cycle. And then of course they increase your credit limit, and there you get gas again, and then you go. It's
Hmm.
like a never-ending cycle. And if I didn't have to experience that,
Yeah.
I would have not had the shift that I had today when it comes to money,
Hmm.
to being more responsible with my credit cards. Even I try to pay the statement balance,
Yeah.
and if I can't pay the statement balance, I try to pay like 70 or 80% of it and prepare
Okay.
myself for next month. I try to be more responsible when it comes to it, so I'm not back in that credit card debt that I once was because
Amen.
it's no joke. And
Yeah,
I
I
thank my
know.
grandfather for telling me about that. Even though they closed my credit card, because that first credit card I had, I probably would have reached like 50K by my credit limit. Because
Right.
it's always good to have that one credit card that has a high limit in case of any
Yes.
emergency. Because I know
Absolutely.
what life happens, but I try to tell that story to everybody. Like I know how it feels to be deep in debt
Yeah.
and try to crawl yourself back out of it. And again, American Financial Solutions, that is not sponsored, but that's what helped me during this process.
Right. Okay. So basically, what you're saying, the lesson is to pay it off like before you move. Like you would
So
suggest that?
So what I did was that I tried to get like all my credit card debt. I tried
Yeah.
to always pay off the statement balance so I don't carry a balance. And if I do carry a balance, I make sure it's a small balance. But I always try to keep it update because that's what credit cards want. They want you to use it, but they want you
Yeah.
to pay it off and they want to see that as a never-ending cycle. And
Mm.
once I did that debt management solution, even
Yeah.
on my credit report, even though it showed that it was closed, it showed the minimum payment like some because I think there was still one card I was like the first card that I had, that was the
Yeah.
only card that I was still paying off
Hmm.
because unfortunately that was like the highest one, so that was the only one that I was still paying off. So
Yeah.
they did say that when I was doing my mortgage application, but it was a
Hmm.
small payment amount not left over that it was easy for me to move on. But I always recommend try to look into having a minimum payment or like a minimum payment like $35 on your card, but like a
Yeah.
small balance like let's say 500. Something
Yeah.
that they see that okay, she's not overdoing it on her credit.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
Because I feel like it's taken up like so much money and it's just crazy. Like this was only supposed to be like kind of like a one-time thing and then it
Mm-hmm.
just progressed. Like that's exactly what I did. Like I'll say, oh, I'll just get this and then I'll pay it off. And then I would pay it off, but it's the fact that I kept having that same mentality, like, oh, I have
Yeah.
it, I have this amount there, the amount keeps increasing, and the
Mm-hmm.
interest rate keeps going up. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna get out of this thing.
That's
Like it
that's
feels like
what they
a toxic
want.
relationship with capital One.
It's that's what they want. I kid you not. I went to Apple and I asked them for a credit limit increase. You know what they
Yeah.
told me? I don't use
Huh.
my card often. That's what they told me.
Like,
You
what do
don't
you
use
want
your
me to
credit,
do?
so they want me to be in debt.
Yeah, exactly.
They want so basically they want to see that I'm paying, like I'm paying it, using it, paying
Yeah.
it, using it. But it's like if I don't have to use my card, I don't have to use it. So now what I do is I just have like my Apple, I paid extra storage. I have like take out $10 a month
Yeah,
from it
exactly.
just to
Same.
show some usage on my card because they will
Right.
close a card if you don't use it too.
It's just crazy. It's like, don't pressure me to do these things.
That's pretty much what they want you to do. So that actually
Yeah.
goes on to the next question. What
Okay.
mindset blocks did you have to overcome around success? And this could be success regarding your like career, because I know you're always trying to find ways to elevate and or like money tips, or I know that you're trying to work on yourself in terms of getting your own thing. So what
hmm
helped you around to overcome excess?
I would say probably like building more confidence in the sense that I'm not gonna let like, any minor setbacks stop me. Like recently I did apply for a supervisor position at my current job and they gave it to somebody else who I work with. So I was kind of like really sad about that. But then I thought to myself, like my mom always tells me, whatever is for you will be for you.
Mm-hmm.
And everything happens for a reason. So maybe it just means that I'm supposed to be, in a different position at a different job. So I was just feeling really down about it, but I feel like I can't let it like let me stay down. I have to really understand that I put 8 years into this career. So it's like that has to count for something. And I feel like I'm at a point where next year will be the ninth year. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of like something has to give. I want to actually be in a higher position than the same positions that I've been in for the past few years. Like I've learned so much different experiences in different systems of my career. So I have a lot to give, like a lot to offer. So it's kind of like really trying to remember that, I am the prize.
Mm-hmm.
So I want these jobs to like recognize that and give me the respect by giving me like a higher position. So yes, trying to build more confidence in that and not letting like these setbacks really affect me like mentally and keep going and keep applying on Indeed. Indeed is my best friend right now and I don't miss an application. I will sit there and I will apply for jobs all the time anytime if I'm waiting to do my nails or if I'm doing my nails or whatever the case is. I utilize my time wisely because I have a goal and I'm very focused and determined on that goal. So that's where
Yeah.
I'm at.
No, that's an excellent mindset to have, and I do agree. One thing I had one of my other friend, Gabby, she always says, "I don't need a job needs me." And,
They need
and
us.
period. So I
Right.
honestly agree with you in that sense of you just have to find ways like if one don't work, another position will. Because
Exactly.
that's the same thing like I was saying about my other job when I had went to my boss because she was when my company got bought out, she was a new director, so she was new to the whole organization,
Yeah.
everything. And I never forget when I went to her and I asked her like for a promotion. I asked her, "Hey,
hmm
I've been working here for this long," and I was even telling her that, "Hey, I could be a senior like my other I had another senior at the time." And she was like, "I'm gonna talk to HR." When HR basically said that they don't have room for another senior, and the little chump change they gave me, I said, all right, it's okay. Because at this point now, what's crazy is that when I end up leaving that and going to my job, like the company that I am now, I got a job as a senior business analyst, making
Right.
more money. and all they had to do at the previous job was just pay me a little bit more and give me the
Yeah,
title. And
exactly.
I end up getting paid what 30K more. So I just feel like
Love
the
it.
way the way you think about it is that, rejection, but rejection is going to be a redirection to somewhere else. And I like
Ooh,
even, right?
I like
That's a
that. You
word.
got to
That's
get
a
that
word.
on
That's
my shirt. Okay.
a word.
Rejection is a redirection to somewhere else. Ooh,
No,
clock it.
it's true because like it's even
Hmm.
relationship. My mother always said, think of a good job like a relationship. When it's the time is up, the time is up. Unless it's like a job where you see the potential that you could actually grow in, like a person that you're with, you're gonna elevate with that person the same way.
Yeah,
So
true.
I definitely agree with that. The mindset, you just have to be like, okay, you take your L, keep it moving. You find something else, and you find another position that will pay you in another position that will value, that will cherish you, and that will have other ways of growing. Because the thing
Yeah.
I don't understand is that when you go to these jobs and in an
Hmm.
interview, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And you
Hmm.
tell them, like, in 5 years, I want to be promoted to a director. Let's just say, for instance.
Yeah,
That's the end goal. So if 5 years come and you still put me in the same position, I
right.
gotta leave because what the
Yeah.
hell? I'm telling you, I'm trying to be a supervisor. I'm telling you, I'm trying to be a director. What the
Hmm.
hell's going on?
Of course, it's gonna be a lot of work, but it's like that's up to me. Like I know the work that I could do. So it's like, you didn't choose me for that position. Okay, well then maybe somebody else will. And you're right, it is
Exactly.
like a relationship. Like if you don't like me, that's fine. Another person will like me, or it could work with
Period.
somebody else. So that means it could work with another agency. But of
Period.
course, I'm not gonna quit the job I have now until I have, you know,
You gotta have your lineup. You know how
right,
they
I have to
always
have
say
my
you gotta have
lineup.
your roster. You gotta have your
Yes,
lineup.
yes. I have to have my lineup. I have to do things strategically, and then I have to give myself a little break before I start my new job. So,
Always. You always. I think I gave myself like a two day break before I started my new job.
oh no, girl, I gave myself a good like a week and a half. I'm not gonna lie, and I went to Trinidad.
No, I don't blame
I,
you. I don't blame
I
you.
need, I needed
I
that
don't blame
break.
you.
It was
I
like
don't blame you.
working and
Hey,
working and working. I'm like, you know what? Where can I go where I don't really have to do too much? And I'm like, I'm gonna just go to my second home. And I was really refreshed and ready. And then I came back and I had 2 days before orientation, and that was it. I was ready to go.
that's the
Got my
best
mind
thing.
right. Hmm.
I think I did 2 days. No, I did two. I think 2 days I did, and then include the weekend. So I did Thursday, Friday, and then I had Saturday, Sunday. So it was like 4 days in total I had. And
Yeah.
then I ended up starting on the Tuesday and not the Monday, so I got like an extra day because they.
Yeah.
So I get that. I think it's very important. The worst thing you want to do is finish a job on Friday and start a new job on Monday. That's crazy. You're
Yeah,
gonna be
no.
tired.
And also, I forgot to say, you want to make sure it lines up with the pay period because I would never want to go a long period of time without getting paid. So, like, let's say I gave my 2 weeks or whatever the case is, I did it on a time where I know I was going to get paid, and then I start my new job 2 weeks later, and that orientation week is when I'm still getting paid. So, you have to think about the money too. The
Oh, that's
mental health
smart. I do the same
and the
thing too.
money, make sure the money
Don't
is
play.
lined up. Don't play
I
with the
just
money.
play. I'm feeling like Julius from Everybody Hates Chris with my money. Mr.
Exactly.
Krabs, mom got my
Right.
money.
You're right. Give me my money. I
So
can't play around my coins.
I'm happy you say that because I'm actually going to go into the next question I have is what's
Hmm.
your biggest advice for someone trying to level up on a budget and when it comes to career? Because I think another thing is career is a
Yeah.
very important time.
Okay. So leveling up on a budget, I would say you would just have to really have a goal and understand like, is something that you want more important than something that you need? Like,
Hmm.
let's say you really want to get, I don't know, you want to buy a house or something like that, but you're spending money on Louis bags like every 2 months or something like that. And I'm just like, okay, that's not going to help you. You got to think like, what is going to make a difference in your life in terms
Hmm.
of stop thinking about the wants, focus on the needs. And then in terms of career, just don't doubt yourself. Like everything takes patience. Like I had to turn down a few jobs before to get the one that I really wanted, which is the one that I have now. But, you always want to continue to grow and elevate. Yes, things
Hmm.
may be nice now, but I know that at a certain point I would want more. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should always want more for yourself. Nobody should ever want to be stagnant and pretty much just know your worth. That's all I can really say about that. And being
No.
financially responsible.
Oh yeah. I think that is the biggest advice, being
Yeah.
financially responsible. Because even if one thing I can admire when I'm on TikTok, I see a lot of people that are going through their financial hardship and
Yeah.
they're in like credit card debt, worse than I was in. Like there was one woman, she was like 80K in credit card debt between she and her husband. And
Yeah.
they talked about how they did a lot of side jobs that helped
Hmm.
them to pay down credit card, to save and to move on from there. And I think what any advice to tell anybody is when it comes to budgeting, just take it one day at a time, and you'll see if you just cut back on certain things, how
Hmm.
far you have overcome certain
Yeah.
things. Like for me, I always do my nail once a week. I don't, I just do once a week,
Hmm.
and it helps within, it fits within my budget. And the same thing
Yeah.
about with other stuff like beauty maintenance. If I could do it
Hmm.
myself, I'll do it myself. And if I can, like right now, I'm taking a break from going to the hairdresser. I'm doing my hair myself until maybe for like my birthday, I'll do it. But that's how I budget and plan and be
Hmm.
bougie on the budget. And
Hmm.
that's just what you need to do to kind of like level up in life. Because at this point now, sometimes you're gonna have to go through that hardship to
Yeah.
help you have that mindset. So when you do have the money, you know how to like plan it better, like have better money management. I think that's what
Yeah.
some things like happens. Like some people get all the money and then they don't have any management and then they're back to square one.
Oh yeah, I know people like that. And I'm just like, listen, I get that you struggle with money, but there's ways to go about it. Like, I guess I suggest the Caribbean way, which is, like some people in the Caribbean say like partner or like in Trinidad is susu. So
Mhm.
my grandma would be able to collect the money and then she'll give you back your hand, like I guess whenever the cycle is done. So that also helps saving too.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, in Jamaica they call it partner draw. So I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be scared that somebody gonna scam and take my money.
Well, that's why you have to do it with somebody you trust. Like I trust
Yeah.
my grandma 1,000%.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh, absolutely.
and I know she's not going to give it to me, even if I'm like, oh, I need it for this. She's not giving it
No,
at all.
Caribbean grandparents, they strict. They have like $20
Exactly.
out last them like two
That's why
months.
they always have money. They keeping their
Always.
money for themselves. That's why they always
Always.
like my grandfather used to have all the money wrapped up in a rubber band. I'm like, do you want me to get you a wallet? Like a money clip or something? Like they have all the money, okay? So I'm trying to be like them. But yeah, pretty much you just have to be aware and responsible. Wants and needs, two different things.
Oh yeah, I battle with that sometimes. I do. But then like once you live on your own, you
Hmm.
realize you gotta pay stuff for your home. That pisses you off too. Because now I just had to purchase a air filter for my conditioner system. I'm like, damn.
Oh God.
So it's like even you say I'm a budget, I'm gonna have this $100 on a budget for this $100. Man,
Yeah.
always gonna pop up. Either always
Yeah.
need a water filter for your fridge. You always need
Hmm.
to change out the air filter.
Hmm.
You always need something, always. And it's just like, okay. But I
And
think
that's your
that's just
responsibility.
yeah, but it's a good responsibility, but I think it goes back to just when you budget and you have that, you could be able to squeeze it. Like I paid off my credit card. So I'm like, okay, I could squeeze it on my credit card because I know next paycheck I could pay it
Mm.
off. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think that's the mindset and I'm so happy that we had this conversation because we talked about everything and touched base about everything to let
Yeah.
people know that we are in our what, early to mid 30s
We're in our 20s.
and in our 20s. So we have the experience and we know like a lot of things that we did in our 20s. We know like we learned from listening to people, being with family. We understand it and we're like millennials as well. So we always go through
Girl,
stuff.
but I'm thinking like if it's a struggle right now,
Mm.
I can't even imagine what it would be like if there was like a child involved. Like shout out to the parents because they really, really, really work hard. But I feel like how would we even do it? If we're trying to like get ourselves together now, it's like how we do it, like, with another person involved. Like I could wing it for myself. I could buy like a little turkey sandwich, but these kids want biggie deals at Wendy's. They
They
want
want
McDonald's
seafood
every other
boils.
day. They asking for crab legs. Girl, please. These kids are expensive. So I really don't know. But what I hear is that in your 40s, you're more established and it gets easier. So you just have to keep looking, straight and think that it's gonna get easier. And when that time comes, we already have the financial mindset, so
Hmm.
we'll just be more like prepared.
Nope, I agree. I agree with that. And for anybody out there that are in like their 30s and they do feel lost, don't feel lost because we always have to start some way somehow. Sometimes we have to start over in life, and it's okay to start over in life. You just have to learn how to move forward and have a to shift your mindset from a negative to a more positive mindset and to
Hmm.
approach and think of ways to create boss moves to gain that confidence and to prevent yourself from having any mind blocks that's going to stop you from being successful in life. And it's okay. Trust me, there's some people out there that are still lost within their 30s, but still try to have a positive mindset because at the end of the day, we still have a positive mindset. I still talk to Nell and I talk to her about everything. And especially when it comes to like finances or trying to level up and find different ways. And we still try to support each other. And I feel like once you have that foundation around you as well, it also helps you to have a better mindset moving forward.
Amen.
But thank you so much, Nell, for coming on to this show. Like I do appreciate it. I am so happy to have you on my podcast, and I can't even believe I have a podcast. I never thought I would
I
make one,
know. Thank
but
you for having me.
I thank you so much for joining. I really do, and I really do appreciate it. So the call to action is: what's one financial goal that you are working on? Screenshot this episode, tag me in Niecy's World on all platforms so I can hear all your stories about it. And thank you so much. Keep growing, keep glowing, stay bougie and blessed. Bye.
Bye.